Hey, what's going on, everybody? Super excited. We got an amazing training for you guys. So we got, as you can see, we got Becca Duncan. We got Sean McClellan. It's going to be an awesome training, guys. We're literally going to show you how to compress years of time in just a few months. So super excited. Becca, how's it going? Sean, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you? Glad to be here.
Heck yeah. We got a lot of people. Guys. We already have 100 people live.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll put on some people here. We got Lisa Kennedy. And let me know where you're watching from, guys. Just drop what city and state, country, all that good stuff. We got Delana, we got Jenny, we got Alicia. What's going on, Alicia? We got Rachel, Leslie. Awesome. Just keep throwing in the comments, guys. Just let us know where you're watching from. Let me see here. Yep, okay, here we go. Now we got tons of comments coming. We got Dana. What's going on, Dana? We got Dana from Ohio. Jimmy from Georgia, Lisa Kennedy from Australia at 4 a.m.
I know Jimmy. We go to the same gym. Jimmy and I go to the gym. It's great.
So cool, so cool. Yeah, and we got more people coming on. So this is gonna be really exciting, guys. We're gonna bring a ton of value to you, and more importantly, like I know for me, it took me years to kind of learn this game, and we're gonna show you how to compress a lot of those years in just a few months, and that's what I'm really excited to teach you and show you. So it's going to be an awesome training. So, Becca, you have anything to add before we get started?
I think that we need to introduce the man of the hour, Sean McClellan, because obviously you guys know who I am, you know who Jonathan is, and I don't think that you understand who Sean is and why he is smarter than both. Well, I won't put you under the bus, Jonathan, but he's definitely smarter than me. And he's been amazing. He's part owner of Funnel Freedom. You've owned 6 businesses that have all reached $1 million. Well, no. Not all reached $1 million. We'll go over that, but you've reached.
Okay. We have 4 that have passed the 7-figure mark. Yeah.
And completely different niches. It's wild. Super smart guy. So he's going to be the man of the hour. So I feel like he needs a little introduction.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Just to add in there, Sean, actually, we met at a business event, and it was actually one of my first events. And I just saw this guy, just hanging out. He was just chilling. I came up to him, and he was one of those dudes who's just, to himself. And then he's like, yeah, I just got the $10 million award. I was like, what? And at this point, I had never made any money online. I was just working a 9-to-5. And I was like, this guy's so chill and so cool. Like, I thought rich people were like evil, right? I mean, that's what we're all told, right? And it was just so cool to see like such a grounded person. But I call him the ninja because he was just there, like just chilling, doing his own thing, regular clothes, and I didn't know what a rich person is like, right? So I came up to him and I got a picture with them. I was nerding out. I was like, dang, you made $10 million, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, I was making maybe like, $40,000, $50,000 at my job. So it was cool to meet him. And, a few years later, we partnered up, and now we've built this amazing business together. And then Becca started helping us grow the business, and it's just been an amazing partnership. So guys, I just want to say I appreciate both of you, Sean, Becca. It's been amazing, last few years.
Thank you. Both of you guys too. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it has. It's been so great. Erica says she can't hear anything. You guys can all hear everything, right? Erica, I'm wondering if it's maybe the volume, because
if you guys can hear, can you type 1 so we can make sure?
Drop a 1 below. 1 below if you can hear. Let's just see, make sure we're good. Sam said, hit the microphone. Yeah, okay. Olivia said 1. It starts on mute. Okay, so it starts on mute, guys. So if you click on the little microphone on the top right, you should be able to hear it, okay? So, okay, perfect. Everyone can hear. So, all right, guys. Do you guys just want to get right into it then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let us know. Type in a 2 if you can see the screen. Okay, I'm going to throw it up. If you guys can see the slides, drop in a 2 down below. And then we are in a private webinar, but you should be able to see us on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. So we're going to try to answer all your questions towards the end, guys. We'll do some Q&A. But yeah, we have an amazing training. And Sean, I'm going to let you take it away, my man.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, thank you for that great intro, Jonathan. I appreciate that very much. Loved meeting you back then. And man, seeing the progress that you've been made has been nothing short of phenomenal in such a short time, man. So congrats to you.
Thank you, man.
All right. So as they were mentioning, like I've had 4 different businesses in completely different niches now that have hit 7 figures or more. I've also had some really big failures as well. And I've been doing this now for, gosh, probably more than 20 years now. It's kind of crazy. And I've spent the last 3 or 4 years at least really reverse engineering what worked, what didn't, with all the businesses that I have had, what caused the successes in the shortest periods of time. I'm all about leverage. And I've also looked at other people's businesses in different niches than I've even been in, including Becca's, Jonathan's, and like everything kind of comes down to this framework that we're about to share with you guys. And it can apply to any type of business. So we're going to share what the different categories are that you can focus on for the biggest amounts of growth. Because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of the time I just kind of come into the office and I'm like, oh, I brought this new program. This coach said this podcast said that. And I just kind of work on a little bit of things here and there won't be any progress for a while. And then I'll find one thing that just nails it. And I'll focus on that for a little bit. And then I'll kind of get off track again. And until I came up with this, that kind of helps me hone in on, oh, this is the thing that I should work on before I waste the time on it to figure it out. That is just what really gets the results fast. And Jonathan and Becca's businesses, I know that they had, actually, you know what, let's back up just a little bit here, just to talk a little bit about us. Like one thing I'd really like to talk about is that like all 3 of us came from absolutely nothing. We didn't have any sort of advantages to begin with, so to speak. Jonathan, I know you grew up, or you guys were living in a mouse infested trailer. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get on to the next stuff.
Yeah, man. It was crazy because it's hard to talk about now, but it made me to where I was now. But like we just got married, man, and we were trying to find a place to live, and we had ended up staying at our grandparents' home, and it was an old house, they had owned for years, and we were grateful for it, of course, and we didn't want to go get in debt, and because we had just gotten out of college and all that stuff, and we barely got jobs, so we had just gotten married. We got this house, and of course, we are grateful to our grandparents, but it hadn't been lived in like years, so it's like, it was just this super old house, and but we were grateful. But then, like a couple days in, we started hearing like things in the wall, right? We're like, what the heck's going on? And it was crazy. Like it was one of those things that were like, it is what it is. We dealt with it, but it was, the insulation was not there. So it was cold, and then it was hot in the summer, and it's just one of those things we went through. And of course we were grateful for it. We had a place to live, and it was, it was just part of the process. So yeah, man.
That's awesome. Well, and then what's really interesting is I know you've talked about how you tried like all the different things, all the different businesses, and just nothing worked until you stumbled upon what did work.
Right.
And like Jonathan's entire business model, he talked about when we met about 4 years ago, he hadn't made his first million yet, was kind of just getting started. And then it's been a little over 4 years now, and you're almost at about 10 million now yourself. And it's all because like I was talking with Jonathan this morning, actually, that his business is literally the 4 things that we're about to talk about right here. And Becca, tell us a little bit about your backstory, where you started, and how quickly things took off for you when you figured things out.
Yeah. So also came from nothing. No, I did not. Actually, I had a wonderful family growing up, but I got pregnant when I was 19, had a little baby, and then kind of was stuck in that stereotype of like broke single mom for my entire adult life. I went to chiropractic school, started my own chiropractic business, didn't do great. It was definitely a learning experience, and I made maybe like $40,000 a year with $250,000 of debt. It was wild. And so then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I decided I wanted to become a skincare influencer on TikTok. Also did not work. Did not see any success with that. However, then I came across like digital marketing. And because I had that background experience, I was able to hit $50,000 in my first 3 months. And now it's been 2 years and I've made over $4 million. But so that's kind of like, all of our stories, right? It's like we all have these struggles and then something clicks and it's like exponential growth from there. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. And what's really cool too is, I mean, overall, I've made a little over 15 million now, but it's taken me a lot longer to do it because the resources, the coaching and everything wasn't out there when I got started. And so when I was reverse engineering things, like my first business, it took, I don't think I made even $100,000 on that. Second one never hit $1 million at all. The next one took 4 years to hit $1 million. The next one totally tanked. It didn't even get off the ground. I sunk 6 figures into that one. The next one hit $1 million in 1 year and 6 days. And the sixth hit 35,000 first month, 76,000 in the second month. We're about to cross over $1 million on that one. So I'm figuring out how to do it repeatedly, different niches, getting faster every time. That's what we're going to share with you guys. And everything that we're doing today is going to be principles-based strategy, like the tactics change, the exact things you might be doing. And so like today, we're going to mostly focus on the principles behind it because I heard a story from Myron Golden once that he likes to tell that I really like. And like he talks about like how they design new planes and everything all the time. But because it's principles based, it's not like, is the plane going to fly? It's like you follow certain things, it's definitely going to fly. It's definitely going to happen every time. We're applying that same thing to business coming from a principles based thing. And so today, we have what's called a C4 explosive growth framework. These are the 4 areas to focus on in your business to grow as fast as you possibly can. And so I wanted to talk about like why this matters exactly. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of the backstory in this on some of the different businesses and how having some of these things in place worked really well and how not having them caused really big issues, because we had a business that made several $100,000 and it completely failed because we were missing the first thing that we were going to share. The second one was doing incredible, and then it went out of business and tanked because we were missing one of these elements. I have a business that I made over 10 million on in one business. And that one I ended up selling about 3 years ago, and I took a couple years off and now I'm back in the game. But the thing about that business is I nailed 3 of these and I had the other one, but I was just weak on it. And when I sold that business, I sold it for at least a couple $1 million less than I could have got just because I didn't realize how important it was to focus on one of these. And then in the fourth one here, that was the one that I mentioned a second ago where I sunk 6 figures into it and it just completely flopped. That's because I was missing piece number 4. And we'd like to shortcut all of you guys, save you all the pain that I have had by going through some of these details here. So our 4 areas here, we're talking about we need to connect with new people. We need to collect information from them so that we can follow up, contact these people. And then we need to have some sort of method to communicate with them, nurture them, bring them along to being buyers. And then we have the conversion process. And so that's just kind of an overview of what these different areas are. And so we're going to talk about, hold on one second here. So talking about the first one, we're just going to talk about some of the tweaks that we have made recently, and we can show you how the smallest little changes can have a really big leveraged effect. I know, Jonathan, you're always talking about how big leverage is.
Yeah.
And I like to think of these 4 things almost as like dials that if you assess these different areas and you know how they work, interact with each other, you can kind of just turn this one a little bit, get huge results, turn this one a little bit. Because sometimes you are doing something and it's working well, but there's something else you could do that might take a few days or even a few hours that could get you the same results as focusing somewhere else, literally for weeks or months. And so in terms of connecting with new people, for example, Becca, we were just talking about you yesterday while we were preparing for this, but talk about that social media engagement tweak that you just made and what the results of that have been.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm sure you guys have known Instagram algorithm is crap right now, right? And Connect, that's how we get people to know who we are and that we exist in the world. So social media stories, they have been down on the algorithm as well. We did one little tweak. We, updated the way that things were presented, and within not even 5 days, not 3 days, within 24 hours, I more than quadrupled my story views and my engagement in my stories because of some tweaks that we have been making. So it's like this one minuscule little thing that took 2 minutes now has increased my connect rate 4 times what it was before. Whereas if I had been focusing in another area, could have taken, a year in order to get that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And then also for Becca's business, we did something like that with some of the emails that we sent out. Actually, that's going to be in the next one. So I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But one of the tweaks that I made to a business was I created the product, like the whole charcoal teeth whitening thing. Like as far as I'm aware, I was the first one to do that in like a commercially available product. I did that back in 2014. And I had no idea at the time, but just when people started posting photos of brushing with black teeth and everything, it started going viral and people were posting those everywhere. And we were the only one that sold anything like that. And so it started taking off pretty quick. But for me, it was at that time pretty much still just a side hustle type thing. It was making a few $1,000s a month here and there. But I just thought to myself, working on how to get people to post this, do all the marketing thing, like Becca and Jonathan, they are fantastic at building an audience and all that stuff. I've never had an audience. That's why they're introducing me right now at the beginning of this, because I never talk about anything to anybody, because I figure out other ways to turn those little dials and make things happen for myself. And so what I ended up doing is I found the person with all the connections and the people. And that product ended up being transformational for her because she had all sorts of issues with like with sensitivity and all sorts of stuff like that. And it fixed the product was good enough that it fixed it for her overnight. And she just bought into it and was like, I love this. I want to help you. I want to use my connections. And me finding that one person over the next 2 years, she sold over $1 million worth of my product. But I just found the one person. And so that is just tweaking that little connect dial for me. One connection made all the difference for that.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Thank you.
I wanted to add something to that as well.
But
just something simple that completely changed the way I started connecting with people. Because, I see a lot of new people getting into Instagram, social media, but they're trying to just kind of copy other people and post the same things. And that's cool. I mean, it works if you model other people, but what really changed for me was really talking about like different aspects of my life. Right. So for example, instead of just talking about business all the time, which is something I did for the longest time, I was like, I cannot grow my following. Like no one's following me. Right. And it wasn't until I figured out that I need to talk about other things. So such as, I'm into fitness. I'm into CrossFit. So let me talk about that. I'm into, I go to church. I serve at my church. I'm a Christian. So I talk about that. And, I like to do, jet skis and off-roading. And that's me, right? That's me as a person, right? And once I started doing that, the right people started to connect with me, right? I talked about my family, about my kids, my wife. And it wasn't just all about what I was selling, right? Whatever you're selling, it doesn't really matter, right? Because you can tie it all back to what you're doing. And that little tweak right there completely shifted, years of time, right? And just honestly in weeks, because people started to connect. So that was huge for me.
And it works in person. Like all these things can work like I said, in any different niche, it doesn't even have to be online. Like this can happen in person and everything. Because like what Jonathan was just talking about, he was just talking about that stuff with me that first time that I met him. And like, he just really left an impression on me. And so then we kept following up with each other here and there. Nothing huge, but just dropped little messages here and there, connecting with each other. And then we ended up starting a new business together last year that's doing phenomenal right now. But yeah, it definitely goes back to exactly what he was talking about. So I'm going to move on to the next one here with collecting. I have had a business that has done over $1 million that then went out of business because I was missing this piece right here. And so with the teeth whitener, I talked about how connecting with one person transformed everything. She personally was responsible for selling over $1 million worth of this product for us. But one of the strategies that she had used early on was she sold like several $100,000 worth of our product through Amazon. Like she was an Amazon master. She knew how the algorithm worked and all these sales were going. And I was so excited because I knew like, oh, we're building this customer list. Even if this product ends up, if everybody floods the market, which definitely ended up happening, but I mean, I could see it coming ahead of time once the idea got popular. I just thought it doesn't matter. We're set forever because we've got all of these buyers. Well, it turns out that when you sell something on Amazon, Amazon considers it to be their customer. It's not your customer. I did not know at that time because I knew nothing about that. And she was managing those things. We had none of their contact information, nor did we have permission to get in touch with them. And so once other products, copycat products, started flooding the market and everything fractured, and then people made cheaper things, undercut the pricing and all of that, like the business died. I mean, it was going amazingly well. And literally probably in 60 to 90 days, it went from making almost 6 figures a month to nothing, like $500 a month maybe. And there was nothing that I could do about it. I had no customer list. There was nobody for me to reach out to with, hey, now we have another product or anything like that. And so I had to figure something else out really quickly, which I did. But like, it was a very stressful time to try to figure that one out. And I thought that I was doing this and I wasn't. So let me see here. Becca, we just did a tweak for your stuff in the collect area that was pretty amazing. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or do you want me to describe that one?
Yeah. Okay. So this was just one little tweak, which just kind of goes to show how following this whole process like really allows you to figure out what's going to be like the lowest risk, highest leverage thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So for example, when I was promoting my fire challenge and getting people on the VIP wait list, it was not going as well as I expected it to go. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, obviously we're missing a communication factor here. So what we did was we simply changed the landing page that people go and click on in the emails. And it literally increased my VIP list up by 600% in what it took me a month to grow my wait list to where it was. And then within a week, it was up 600%, which
exactly.
is one little week.
And what's crazy about that is like she's grown an amazing email list. I think you've got over 350,000 people on your email list, and like growing your email list is phenomenal. But the results that were coming out of that, in order to get the same results that we got from making one change that took one afternoon, if instead she had been focusing on connecting with more people and growing the email list, she would have had to grow the email list to 700,000 people. And instead, we just did one little thing in one afternoon and it got literally the same result. And so that's the type of thing that we're talking about. Like, and 700,000 people would be great, but you're not going to do that in one afternoon. So
exactly. Whereas this took 2 minutes because we were able to narrow down like where I was missing.
Absolutely. Jonathan, you got one to add on this, or?
Yeah. And I mean, the biggest thing for me, and this was, again, like I was at a job, right? I had no product. So I leveraged someone else's product. And what I did to build my email list or to collect emails was, honestly, I give things away for free. And at first I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was giving away it could be as simple as like a YouTube video, right? But what I would do is instead of sending people directly to a YouTube video, I would have like a landing page, right? A page that collects someone's info, and then I would send them to the YouTube video, right? So I would try to create something valuable, something for free, and then I would essentially just give things out for free. And I continue to do that today. And, maybe some of you have heard of it as a lead magnet, but people don't do it, right? Like I see like just people just trying to get people to the sales page. I'm like, no, give away something for free. If you do that, you start to act in good faith, and people will start to know, like, and trust you even more. And one of the biggest things for our students is like we literally will give them something to give out. I'm like, hey, give out a free course, give out a spreadsheet, give out a YouTube video. It can be something just simple that makes someone's life easier, but it's a way to start collecting and, building your business. So that was so huge for me. And it's something I continue to do. Like that's my main focus in my business is collect. How can we collect more? What can we give out so we can collect more? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Love it. Okay. So next one here, communicating and nurturing. And this is where, with the biggest business that I have had to date, and the only one that I've exited so far, we nailed 3 of the steps. And then this one right here, like I was doing everything. I was actually the manufacturer as well. We had employees and everything helping do stuff. The room that I'm sitting in right now was actually a small manufacturing facility where I and a couple of people that I hired and came in personally made over 600,000 deodorant sticks. And so we were very, very busy doing all the in the business work. The offer was great. People loved it. We were connecting with people. I learned from the previous business that failed because I wasn't able to collect things. I did exactly what Jonathan did, where inside every package that got sent out, I had where people could get something for free by scanning a code or sending a short text message. And so I built a buyer's list of well over 100,000 people, but I didn't understand or have the time to write emails to these people and try to move them from doing one-time purchases onto subscriptions. There were all sorts of things that I could have been doing and should have been doing that really wouldn't have taken that long. I say I didn't have the time. The truth is, there were plenty of things that I was doing that were taking up that time that I chose to do because I saw the value of those things. But without doing this, we didn't have nearly as many subscriptions on our own platform as we should have based on kind of industry standards. And we didn't have as many repeat purchases as we would have had to remind people, hey, it's time to reorder and all that type of stuff. And like, these are all things you can automate and get help with relatively easily. I didn't figure it out at the time. And when it came time to sell, we had a third party come in and kind of evaluate the whole business, do an appraisal and everything. And I ended up eventually discovering, had I just focused maybe 5% more of my efforts on this, I would have been able to exit for probably 2 million or more higher than I ended up selling for. And it's just because of this little thing right here. And then, Becca, I know you have a story on this one about some of the more direct one-on-one communication.
Yeah. So when I was first starting, like nobody taught me the importance of just connecting with your audience. Like, right, that people buy from you like when they know, like, and trust you, right? Which is what your personal brand is all about. And you want to show that off. But I was so prioritized on the vanity metrics, on getting followers, that I was spending too much time on that and not enough time in my DMs, to the point where I literally had people commenting on my DMs commenting on my posts saying, why do you never answer your DMs? Or I would have people DM me and they were like, I actually bought a product from someone else because you never responded to me. And to me, that was a big wake up call. So just so you know, I do respond to all of my DMs now if you guys, want to message me. But that was a big thing, like just missing that connection factor. And it's hard to necessarily like put a number on how many sales I missed, but I had multiple messages of people saying, yo, like, you never responded. I bought from somebody else.
Well, and if those are the people you heard from, there's usually probably 10 times or more who had the same issue and didn't say anything about it. Not to mention like just the damage that can do to like business reputation and trust in the marketplace when people share and talk about it on social and everything. So yeah, incredibly important on that one. Let's see here. Let me
And then I did have my little tweak that I have done recently regarding the communication that has what you were just talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what we've done is like basically ideal format my subject lines in my emails, which again is something that doesn't take too long to do at all. And I was able to double my open rates and my click-through rates. So what Sean was saying is I might have 350,000 subscribers, but if I have, 75,000 subscribers opening my emails, and then let's say, I want to double that, hit 150, well, then I'd have to grow my email list to 700,000 followers, which will take years. Or I can just simply work on, focusing on optimizing my subject lines and my emails. And when I did that, I was able to get those metrics that I would have gotten had I had double the amount of subscribers.
Awesome. That is, I remember finding that one, and it was just like figuring out that one little change had such a big effect. It's just so much fun to do this stuff, honestly. Jonathan, I know you got one to throw in here.
Yeah. This one I think will help a lot of people. And so, when you're first starting out and you're posting on these short form platforms, it takes time to get people to know, like, and trust you, right? So one of the hacks that works for me, and I continue to do this all the time, is, and this will even work like if you're on, a Facebook group or, even your personal Facebook, even a blog. But the trick to get people to know, like, and trust you is to spend time with you longer, right? So how can you do that? So for me, I'll start by creating something of value, more longer form, right? It could be a podcast. It could be like something like this, like a webinar. You're spending more time with me. It could be a YouTube video where I'm teaching you something tactical, mindset, right? Something like that, where I can't really do that on Instagram. I can't really do that on the stories, right? So what I like to do is, instead of sending people directly to go buy something, what I'll do is I'll send people to, a video like this or a YouTube video. And what I'm doing is I'm shrinking that time, because I want people to know, like, and trust me more, right? So when I go to some of these events, people are like, I know all about your story, and thank you so much for teaching me all these things. And I just watched like 30 of your YouTube videos. And you can't really do that on Instagram, right? Like, so what I like to do is, it's just a quick way for people to really connect with you, right? And it's so huge. And I think it's like a life hack for me, right? And I know some people don't like the idea of getting on a YouTube video or, doing that. But if you can think of it as shrinking time, because you'll still see the results with, short form and all that. But if you look at it as, shrinking the time, then you'll push yourself to do it. So it's I think it's a life hack, and it's an amazing way to nurture and communicate.
I love it. All right. Now onto the conversion part. It's fascinating how small tweaks on this have done such big changes for people that I've seen. Like, this one kind of blows me away. And like, the biggest one that I have personally seen is one of my coaching clients from a few years back. He had written a series of children's books, and he made a Shopify like shopping cart checkout page and everything. And I had told him beforehand about like how to build funnels where you've just got one singular message, one action that people can take, and all of that. And he thought that was cool, but at the time, the software that was needed to do that was, I think, $297 a month or something or other like that. And he was just afraid to do that. And a lot of these things, especially earlier on, like, I was afraid to invest in my business, whether it was a tool, whether it was a course, a coach, or something or other like that. Like, I used to be very hesitant and afraid to do that, because I vividly remember after first getting married that if there were 3 digits in the bank account, we were like, all right, we're good. and we've come a long way from there for sure. But his stuff was starting to take off, and I think he was making maybe $1,500, $2,000 a month selling his books through a Shopify store. But finally, he decided to set up a sales funnel with some good copy on it and some upsells and that type of thing. And he ended up over the next 2 years selling a total of $7 million worth of books. And like, that was the main change that he made. It was just one change to the conversion process. And for whatever reason, people putting things in a cart, filling out stuff and checking out versus funnel, one big button, made all the difference in the world. And so yeah, that was transformational for him. Becca, I know you've got a really good one here that was a small change to your conversion process.
Yes, very small change. So most of you guys are in the content space, right? So for me, when I was first starting, I was making like $4,000 a month, right? Which is still decent. I was able to grow a large following, but I'm like, I have this huge following now. Why am I not making any sales? So I actually did a one-on-one with somebody. She looked at my account and she was like, honestly, you're not posting to conversion type content. Like, you're not talking to your target audience. They don't even know, they don't feel like you relate to them. And she's like, here's these tweaks you need to make. And I was like, cool, took it to heart, went and made those tweaks. I kid you not. This happened in November. December, I had a $50,000 month. January, I had a $150,000 month. February, I had a $250,000 month, all because of this one tweak. This one tweak for me changed the entire course of my life.
That is amazing. And Jonathan and I, we've got a thing going on right now where we have a software called Funnel Freedom, and we changed something on our homepage where it used to just be get a free trial, and that was the only option. But we switched it now so that you can skip the trial and you can pay right away. But then we threw in some bonuses that people get. And like, now people are choosing to skip the trial. So it's quicker to cash flow on our side. But even if people were picking the trial before and then it became a paid account, if they choose to skip it and actually commit from day one, then people are sticking around like 3 times longer at least, as long term. And for a business that has recurring revenue coming in, like, that's a huge impact to how much your company's worth. And just it's nice too with recurring, how you can wake up on the first of the month and all the bills are paid, and then you can do things for the rest of the month to stack on top of that. That's very different from how I've done things in the past, and it has been transformational. But that type of tweak, I think what Jonathan, we spent 45 minutes on that. And
yeah, it was crazy because one of our mentors was actually like, hey, you should do this thing. And we're like, oh, that's such an amazing idea. And we threw it in there, and it's like, dang, I mean, that saved us so much heartache, right? And it's like, we just saw the increase in the monthly reoccurring, like you mentioned. It was just like, this is amazing. So just little things like that makes such a huge difference, So that's amazing.
Absolutely. So let me see here. So I think right now what would be cool to do, like we've got a ton of people on here. I don't know why these are. What's going on? Like these looked fine where they were all
do this on purpose.
Yes. They looked good before we started streaming, I assure you. But I think what would be helpful right now, like we'd like to actually help you guys right now, like take out a sheet of paper, draw a line in the middle like this, and just write connect, collect, communicate, convert, and just think about those areas of what you've got going on right now. Like what do you have in place? Are you missing any pieces? Becky, you want to walk through some of this stuff right here, or do you want me to continue on this part?
No, yeah, definitely. So we still have the slides set up, right, where we'll go through and kind of elaborate on each one. Mm-hmm. I do not have control over the slides.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Okay. All right. So what you're going to do, guys, is you are going to create a cross. Okay. This is going to be crossed into 4 different sections where we're going to talk about connect, collect, communicate, and convert. Okay. And this is how you are going to be able to tell what area of your business you need to focus on. Okay. So go ahead and do that. I'll give you guys just a second. When you do that, what I want you to write down is how many people are seeing your stuff. Okay. So the way that I like to do that is what is the total number of followers I have across all platforms? I look at Instagram, I look at Threads, I look at TikTok, I look at Pinterest, I look at Facebook, mostly Instagram and TikTok. If I had to do this like in a brief overview, but Connect, those are people who know you exist. Okay. So go ahead and write that number down. Give you guys just a second. Also, people are asking questions. I just figured we'll answer all those at the end.
Yeah, we'll hang out for sure.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys like 30 seconds to do that, and then we're gonna move on to the next box. This will be really helpful for you guys. And we have a little spreadsheet that we'll bring up, just so you guys know exactly what area of your business you need to focus on.
I'll go ahead and pop up the next one. You can talk about that whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay. So next box, we're going to write down collect. This is how many people are actually giving you their information. So how many email addresses have you collected? Go ahead and write that number down. If you collect phone numbers, write that down too. I know most of our early on digital marketers probably don't collect phone numbers. Go ahead and write down how many email addresses you have collected. And then I'll give you like 30 more seconds for that. You know what actually we could do? We'll just go through all of it.
Yeah.
And we can just kind of chit chat until everyone's done. We'll have everyone type in.
Let's do it.
Okay. So third box, communicate. This is how many people are engaging. Okay. So what you can do is go into your email system. You can see how many people have opened your emails and how many people have clicked your emails. So you'll be able to see like an average rate. Like you'll be able to see, okay, 40% opened, 2% clicked. Go ahead and write those down. And then we have convert. Okay. So how many people are buying? Are your sales consistent? Write down how many sales you have gotten so far. If it's not enough, or if you have made a lot and it's hard to tell, go ahead and write down the amount of sales that you have gotten this month in January. And we'll just kind of elaborate from there, but go ahead and do that. When you guys are done, go ahead and put like just a 1 in the comments so we know and we can kind of get going on what it is that you need to do in order to focus on these areas. I'm drinking out of a red Solo cup right now because I'm beer ponging, obviously.
Perfect. Got one starting to come in. Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
And while you guys are doing that too, then let me see here if I can share a screen to just kind of illustrate how some of these changes can affect things in real time. Let me see here. Share screen. Let's see here. There we go. I think that will do it.
Do you want me to share a screen?
Yeah, put me over on that one right here. So what I've done here is I basically just built a quick little spreadsheet here that can kind of just quickly illustrate how turning these dials in your business, what kinds of an effect that it can have. So I've just got some stuff typed in here that, like, if you had, a small offer, it's $9, 400 people saw it, 30% said they were interested in it, and 10% of those people bought, then you're going to have 12 sales. You're going to make like $100. And so we can just look at like, okay, what if we had 50,000 people see it? Okay. What if instead of $9, you were able to charge $47? What if 15% of people bought? Like, I think I can share this and you can make a copy if you kind of just want to play around with this yourself so that you can kind of visually quickly see, like you kind of reference the things that you were writing down that Becca was walking through, and then you can just kind of play with these numbers in here and see like, oh, growing my email, growing from 500 to 50,000 people seeing something, that might be more difficult to do. But if I could get more people to be interested, then that would be a smaller change that I could make, if that makes sense. So I'm going to drop that in the comments here. you guys can just hit the file, make a copy of that if you would like to edit that and mess with that yourself. Cool. I see people jumping onto it right now.
So just to clarify,
Yeah,
Sean,
please do. Please do.
how many people saw your stuff? This is Connect, right? This is the Connect aspect. This is how many followers you have.
It can be. I mean, it can be followers. It could be if you posted things and a bunch of people commented on it, like because some people do more like direct sales where you have like a higher ticket offer, but fewer people are seeing things. Like that's where you don't hardly need much of an audience. So like, let's say for example that you were selling something that was $3,000 and you posted something on social media and only 100 people saw it, but 30% of those people were interested, and then you started engaging in conversations with those people one-on-one, like through DMs or something, and 15% of them bought it. Well, now you can make $13,000 and only 100 people even saw your stuff. Like that's kind of how you can use this to tweak to different business models depending upon like what type of views you're getting, what type of follow-up you have. And that's why this system kind of applies to any business model, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I know I get really into this stuff, and it I'm not sure what's best for people hearing it. So
yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. But you guys tell us, drop a 2 in the comments if it makes sense. Sean, I know you have a lot of people saying thank you. This is epic. This
awesome.
Is great. Go ahead and drop a 2 in the comments if just to make sure that you are understanding all of this. Perfect.
And I just want to add something real quick, guys. I think a lot of people they think that they have to get like so many views, like hundreds of thousands of views, right? I mean, if you look at just like my content, right? I don't have a ton of views, but we've tweaked it so much that the views that we do get, like they're buyers. People are willing to buy it, right? And those are some of the tweaks that we're talking about. It's just like those little things that you can do to leverage, the views that you do get, right? Because everyone's trying to go for the most viral views, and those are cool, right? They help for sure. But if you can tweak, the ones that are low views but into high converting, you don't need to go for those. So that's the coolest thing about that.
Jonathan, that's awesome. That actually reminds me, I know people who have put content up, and like let's just say a YouTube video as an example that might get 100,000 views on it, and they end up maybe making $500 or something or other like that. But I know there was one that you have that I think had less than 500 views, but you had some great results from that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you share that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have plenty of those videos. I mean, did you want me to actually share an example?
Yeah, just to illustrate how not having a big, like, you don't have to have a big audience if you optimize the other dials. Like, yeah,
I'll have to find it here.
And even just if you off the top of your head, like, you don't necessarily have to pull up a screenshot or whatever.
That reel you sent us the other day where you have all of those saves.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can look at my YouTube channel. I mean, it's funny because I do have videos that do pop off and get hundreds of thousands of views, but sometimes they don't really do as much for me, right? Like, it's just like, it's cool that I get a ton of views, but like one example I'm looking at, it's just teaching people how to become a traffic and leads expert. Literally only 900 views, but that video, and we track all this. That's why we know this, we're getting a ton of clicks, right? And when I say a ton, maybe 40% out of the 900 are clicking, but most of those people are going to the page to go buy the thing because of what the content was and the tweak that I made there. So that's the thing I'm trying to get you guys to understand. It's like,
so Jonathan, what is the price on the thing that you're selling on that? And I can update this calculator to just kind of show that.
Yeah, for that one in particular, that one was 3,000. So there we go.
Okay, so a $3,000 offer, 900 people saw it, 40% clicked, and then there you go. If 15% of people,
that's actually about right.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's $162,000 from a video that got 900 views. But it's because it's highly targeted and it's the right people are seeing that video. But like, this is a great example right here, because a lot of people would think like, oh, to make six figures on one video, surely you'd have to get like, 50 million views or something. No, not if it's the right video. Not if it's the right video. And in fact, a lot of videos you could probably get tens of millions of views and make nothing other than if you're monetized and YouTube gives you a few $100s or whatever they do.
Right. Yeah, it's funny because my biggest YouTube video, I think I got like 200,000 views, and I got paid like YouTube will pay you to make videos, but the people that we got from there just weren't as targeted, and it was just crazy. And I still appreciate the big views and people coming through, but sometimes it's just so much easier just to make a very targeted thing that target a very specific person, right? And then the conversions are just so much higher, and people actually want what you have to offer, which is always a great thing,
Absolutely. Okay, so let me see here. Jonathan, can you switch it back over to the slides part?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's a kind of an overview of the system, why the things are important, how small changes can make a big effect. And then like what I like to do is I view this as basically just a continuous circle that you do all the time. And so like when I'm in the zone, everything's going well. Like I like to spend a few minutes on like Sunday evenings, for example, just kind of looking at the business, like, okay, how's C1 doing? 2, 3, 4. Okay, what's going well? Is there anything that we could improve? Anything that we could tweak that would get like a massive outsized result? And then I just kind of make a list of what are the things that I'm going to focus on the upcoming week. And ideally, if you get up on your work days and you spend the first 1 to 2 hours focusing on what you decided on at the end of the week before, that is exactly how you're going to get a year or more worth of results, like every single quarter, over and over and over. And that's why Jonathan, that's why me, that's why Becca are able to generate these huge amounts of money in short periods of time. Because I remember before I had that type of success, like I remember working, like my wife was working 2 jobs. I was doing self-employed stuff and a full-time job. And we weren't even making 6 figures doing that. And I just remember thinking, how could I possibly make any more? Like all of the hours that I have are being used to generate money somehow, and we've hit a ceiling. What do I do? How do people figure this out? And this is what they do. And this is how that works. You use leverage, you compress your time, you sever that connection between time for dollars, doing the types of things that we're describing. And then one other thing too, Becca actually mentioned this a little bit earlier, was when you're looking at those actions that you want to do for your business, like evaluate each one of them with like what is in the right category, but also which one of these things has the lowest risk but the highest potential reward. And you just do those activities over and over and over. And even if you just spend that first 1 or 2 hours a day doing those, it's almost like you have a slot machine where you have infinite credits to put into it, and you just get to keep pulling that handle. And if the risk is low and the potential reward is high, even if things don't work, it literally doesn't matter. You can just keep playing, and you can't lose. You can only win. But sometimes you win really big. And like, that's the secret right there. That is how it works. So I'm going to ask Becca, Jonathan, you guys, do we want to do questions now, or do we want to talk about if people want to get more help from us? Like, you tell me. I'm not,
I think what we should do is, because I see a lot of people in the comments, they're like, this is amazing, right? But like, who would actually want us to help you and walk you through the process? Type in a 4 down below. I think that's what we should do next, and just kind of go into how we can actually walk him through the entire thing. So let's see. Type in a 4 down below if that's something you'd be interested in.
Cool.
Awesome.
Jimmy, that's great. Becca was telling me how she ran into you the other day and how you're taking action, making stuff happen. That's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of 4s coming in. Lots of 4s. Amazing. All right. Awesome. Sean, did you want to walk him through like the process of how we can actually make it happen for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. Yeah. So you have a general idea of what to do, what areas to focus on.
This
But
is just a 90-day action plan, is it not? Or are we
yeah,
doing-
you know what? It is supposed to say 90, but I added that very late last night when I was delirious and could barely see. So pretend it said 90.
I'm glad it was you because I was like,
No, it was me. It was me for sure. No, all the perfect slides you
we'll
did.
throw you under the bus then.
All right. So what if we could hang out, work on your business together for 5 days, and you could leave with that 90-day action plan with specific things so that every day that you wake up knowing exactly what to do to get a year worth of growth in the next quarter? And what if it was on a big fancy boat?
Oh.
All right. So what we put together is we're doing a Freedom Mastermind 2025. And the idea is you're going to come hang out with us for 5 days and leave with everything you need to get a year worth of results in the next 90 days. 90. I did it on there. Good for me.
Well,
So yeah,
I created this once.
you did. So yeah, the plan is that you leave with a custom action plan. You're going to know exactly what to focus on every day so that you wake up in those 1 to 2 hours. You're going to know exactly what to do and also exactly how to do it. We're actually going to be sharing the specifics. I mean, I know we shared a lot of the little tweaks that we made and we described what they are. Obviously, how to do those step by step is something that takes a little bit more time to explain and go through. And a lot of the time, this stuff applies to every type of business, but actually having us be able to have eyes on your situation and see what's going on. Like we've been doing this long enough in enough different areas that it's really easy for us to just say, oh, obviously you need to do this right here, follow these steps right here. And that is the plan here. And so if anybody is interested in this, we're doing a 5-day mastermind on a Royal Caribbean ship. We're doing daily mastermind sessions every day. All the meals are included. You're going to be directly learning from us. We've got private dinners set up every night where we'll be hanging out with you guys.
There is one thing I didn't mention on that slide.
Please do.
Is we're also going to have, like, on the landing days when we're actually is we're going to have a group excursion where we're all together networking. Hopefully something that involves a boat. We'll have to figure that out soon.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to all get to, like, not only hang out on the ship, but then when we're there, it'll include like a big, nice excursion as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be super, super fun.
And real quick, Christy said, I'd love an action plan customized to me, which that's something we could do because it's going to
exactly
be
what we're doing. Yeah.
Right. We're going to be looking over, all the things that, we're going to be teaching you stuff, obviously, but it's workshop style. So we're going to actually look at your custom plan and tell you exactly what you can do. Right. And this is years of knowledge that you're going to get, because I mean, for me, it took me 10 years to even get to the point. Right. So, and Sean, I know he's been doing this years and like together, maybe like 25 years, and you're going to be able to compress that time in 90 days. And that's the goal. That's the plan for us. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The dates, March 10th through 15th of this year. And these are the places we're going. The at sea days, we've got a conference room rented where we're going to have a big screen and speakers and everything so that we can actually like show you the step-by-step how to do everything. We'll have some printed materials and everything for you guys as well. And hold on one second. Let me make sure that there we go.
Yeah. And real quick, while you're explaining that, Sean, Jen said, would this be beneficial for a new beginner? Absolutely, guys. The thing is, and sorry, I hear a little bit of an echo, so I don't know if that's.
It's not coming through on my side.
Okay. All right. It's all right. The biggest thing is like I've actually started multiple businesses now, and 3 of them have hit $1 million, at least 7 figures.
That's awesome.
And I do the same thing when I'm starting a business. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you just want to get to that next level, to the next 8-figure mark, we're going to give you that plan, even if you're a complete beginner. And then I see some people saying, well, what if I'm doing master resale rights or affiliate marketing? It really doesn't matter. Like the concepts are all the same. Like Sean started, Sean was in a business that was not even in the make money online niche. I started businesses in the health and fitness niche. Right. And now I'm helping a friend, well, I would say client / friend, but he's in the, he does concession stands for fairs, and that's a 7-figure business. And I could guarantee that's going to be, just because I know the tweaks and the things that I'm going to help him get there. And he's complete beginner. He started doing business with like the fair stuff, but as far as like courses, I'm going to help him get to that next level. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner. We're going to give you the plan. It doesn't matter what you sell, where you're at, and that's the goal. So.
Absolutely. And we're also including some training material stuff with this as well, outside of just the event itself. And so one of the things that we came up with here is we actually, Becca and I are flying out to Jonathan tomorrow morning, and we're going to be filming all the content for this Attention Hijacker Bootcamp thing we're putting together, where we're showing you how to film and edit just using your phone and a tripod. And that's all you need. All sorts of visual hooks and everything to stop the scroll, get people to pay attention to your content, because that's getting harder and harder to do. And before I exported this showed a great little animation of coins pouring out of my phone, where I was recording a video talking about how to make money with nothing but your phone. But when I exported the slide earlier, the animation stopped. So pretend that looked amazing.
Well,
I can pull it up. I think we should show them.
There you go. Oh yeah, you can pull it up.
Pull it up on my phone.
There you go.
I could pull it up on the computer. I definitely think we should show them, because I was pretty impressed with that. So let me pull it up real quick, and then I'll show you. Here we go. Hold on real quick.
And people are asking some good questions in the chat. So
and we will get to those in just a second. We've got a couple more things to show you here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to your question soon. Real
quick, let me know if you can see my screen. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is the video here. Can you guys see it? I'll let it play again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. I love it.
There we go. All right. So we're putting that bonus in there. And then this is my favorite bonus right here.
This looks so bad. Y'all points into StreamYard. We're going to need to.
Jonathan, I'm going to
go ahead and share screen if you want to do that.
I'm going to do that right now, because it does actually look significantly better over here. All right.
I'm gonna go back over here, so let me know when you're ready, and then I'll throw it back up.
All right, let me say stop screen, present, share screen, and
I think when we exported it from Canva, it did.
Yeah, it did. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can flip over to the other one. Okay, now is our good looking ones. All right, here we go. So my favorite bonus here is, this is Becca's flagship course. It's her Creation to Conversion Academy, and this is literally everything, like all of the specific step-by-step strategies that she has used to hit 4 million in just 2 years. And like doing that for the first 2 years that you're in business, that is unbelievable. Like it took me years and years and years to figure out how to do something or other that fast. And you figured it out, you nailed it. And I know you poured your heart into this with everything. And like some of the comments that I have heard from people who have gone through this are, it is like the best course that they have ever gone through. Mm-hmm. I've heard from people that like who have bought tons of other courses, have done coaching programs and stuff, and they go through this, and they like, what I have heard is like, this has everything in it that all the other things promise, and then somehow you go through everything and they don't deliver. Like it really is. Like Becca is really great at being to the point, no fluff, just teaching. First do this, then do this, then do this. Here's what you think about when you do this. And that's all there is. And it is jam-packed with everything that she does in her whole business. So it's a fantastic course. And that's a wonderful bonus that alone, honestly, is worth the whole thing, even if the trip wasn't happening, in my opinion.
I do sell this course for $19.97.
Yes, this is not one of those fake prices where this is it's this valuable, but it's never sold for that. Like, this is literally what she sells it for if you go to her site and buy it like right now. This is it. So let's see here. So like some of the things in here, for example, Becca, if you want to walk people through that just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So there's tons of amazing like content on how to actually convert, right? Not just to grow, which is what all of these courses teach you, right? They teach you how to set up your funnel, a basic freebie funnel. They teach you how to create a reel, how to go viral, and they're like, good luck. Okay. So here is what I include. I include tons of stuff, tons more than this, but really the key things are I have a 12-story framework. Okay. This is the framework that I use in order to tell my stories, and storytelling is hands down one of the best things that I've done that has helped me generate $4 million in 2 years. Okay. So this is the complete system for crafting stories that connect and convert, even in saturated markets. Okay. And then we also have my proprietary content branch system. This is truly proprietary. This is completely something that nobody else has. And it is a way to break up your content. One, so you know exactly what you're posting every single time. And two, you're posting something that your target audience wants to see every single time. Okay. So this is where you're going to get to stop guessing what to post, know exactly what content will resonate with your audience every single time. And then we also have my C4 funnel system. This is a step-by-step system for building funnels that connects, collects, communicates, and converts your ideal customers on autopilot. And this isn't just some silly freebie funnel. I know you guys have learned those freebie funnels, and then you'll look at other people's funnels and you're like, well, why doesn't mine look like that? Well, we'll teach you how to make it look like that. And then another thing that is just so powerful is the mind map messaging system. This is where you get to stop guessing what makes your audience tick, learn exactly how to type into their psychology, and craft messages that feel like you are reading their minds. And when they feel like you are reading their minds, they feel like you know them, you are them. And when you are them, they trust you and they want to buy from you.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, so at the mastermind, we'll be going over several things, and some of that will be shaped by those of you who are coming. Like we have a whole itinerary that we plan on doing, but as we get feedback from you guys leading up to it and everything, like we will change, modify, adapt this to who is coming specifically if there needs to be something that is better for you specifically. And of course, the whole week that you're on the ship with us, we'll be hanging out with you. We're not going to teach a few things and then disappear. Like, we're there that's our time with you.
Full time.
Yes.
Dinners.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'll be an open book during that time for sure. But some of the specific things that we're doing, how to turn trending content to viral posts that reach millions. I know Jonathan and Becca have some great specific strategies on those, which I'm excited to learn myself, as well as share with you guys. Crafting stories that connect deeply with your audience, and really predictable sales is kind of at the core of all of this, in my opinion. Like, not really knowing what's coming. Like, things have been so weird, the past year, the past 2 years, whatever. Like, predictability is huge, and we really wanted to focus a ton on that and help you guys install that predictability into your businesses. I'm going to be talking about how to build powerful connections with the people who already have your ideal audience to fast track your growth. I mentioned before that I'd sold, I was selling like, a few $1,000s a month at best with that teeth whitener that I created. And then I found the one person who then sold over $1 million worth of that product, just one connection. Similar to that, Jonathan shared how we met together, and that was 4 years ago. And then we ended up starting a business together last year that's about to cross over the $1 million mark now. And there's a very specific way to find people and approach them in not a sleazy, networky way and all of that. Like, it's about building a real connection where you are genuinely reaching out, you're helping another person, and then magic things happen as a result of that. Like, I'm very good at that. That's the main reason why I've been able to have all these successes that I have had without having an audience like most people think you need to have in order to succeed. And so I'm very excited to share that stuff with you guys. And then we're also going to talk about AI-powered content creation to create weeks worth of high converting content in minutes. But here's the thing. It's not the same stuff. It's not ChatGPT at all. It's not that type of thing. Like, there are ways that you can train AI models, and we've actually got some pre-built ones that we have used, that we have trained on some of our own results, some of our own styles and everything, where, like, Becca, talk a little bit about how AI has helped you out over the past couple of months with some of the things that we've made for you.
Oh my gosh. So Funnel Freedom, thankfully, was allowing me to kind of beta test all of this stuff that they have been creating. Everything is so, like, we all are familiar with ChatGPT, and it's like, give me some names. And then it comes up with the cheesiest names and the cheesiest emails. And then you can read it and you're like, this was obviously written by ChatGPT. This is ridiculous. So what they have done is they have built bots specifically for Instagram captions, Instagram scripts, offer creation, webinar builder, storytelling emails, promotional emails, different templates for every single possible thing you would want in your business. And you just give it a simple prompt, like, it's geared towards me. So I'm like, hey, write me an email about this today, instead of having to think so much about my prompt. And they're like, perfect. They know my email style. They know exactly what my offer is. I have literally not written an email in months. If you guys go through my emails, I have not written an Instagram caption in months, and my captions have been really good lately. I mean, some of them I don't always have Instagram captions, but if you go through that, and even just the title of, like, naming my products and my offers to make sure that they sound more compelling to my audience. Like, we are rebranding the Money Magnet Millionaire course into the Creation to Conversion Academy with all of these extra bonuses that are going to be included in it. And that's all because of literally the AI that they built me. So that'll be a huge, huge thing that we'll go over as well.
If you want to just stay there real quick, I just want to mention something about that, which has been incredible, right? And I get so many people that come to me and like, hey, I wish you could just fly out and work with me for a week. I'm like, what if I could fly out and work with you forever? And that's basically what this is. It's essentially my brain, Becca's brain, other amazing influencers in the space. And essentially, it's like asking us a question like, hey, Jonathan, can you build me a webinar? Yeah, boom, here it is. And that's basically what we've built in this. So it's not just ChatGPT. It's like asking me if I was actually there. That's how crazy and complex that, well, on our end that we built. And of course, Sean built the entire thing. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. And that was the whole goal with this, is like, how can I hire Jonathan for a whole year, 24/7, anytime I need to write an email or whatever I need. And that was what this is. So super exciting.
That's awesome. And more. All right. So just to kind of recap, if you guys are interested in hanging out with us on this, we've got a ticket to the mastermind, hanging out with us, the Attention Hijacker Bootcamp bonus, Becca's entire flagship course bonus, and of course, all of the things that we'll be talking about at the mastermind. And you leave with your 90-day action plan for the specific things for you to focus on to get a year worth of growth within the next 90 days. And here's what that looks like right here. We've basically just got it separated into two parts, where one person in a private room is $1,500, two people in a shared room is $2,000. So you can save a bit by coming with a friend, family member, whatever you want to do. And then the cruise itself, which is direct through Royal Caribbean. And all these details are about to be on this page here, which let me paste this link. Actually, here, I'll paste this link. Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect. But yeah, that is the offer there. I know, and this is also extremely limited as well. I think we had 40 some odd seats, or 50 to begin with. And I think we've got, I'm not sure how many we have left. I think like a third of them are gone already. I haven't looked at the latest on that, but there's not really a ton So if you're interested in this, definitely check out that page and grab a spot before those run out. Because it's not only the spots that we're limited to, because the conference room can only fit, I think, a maximum of 50 people in there. So that's including us. So it's going to be less than that. But the ship itself also is getting kind of close to being booked out. So either we're going to sell our spots out first, or they're going to sell theirs out first. So either way, definitely check it out.
So. And something I just want to add on to this. We'll obviously get to questions at the end, but somebody asked if they could bring their family. So obviously we talk about in here like 1 or 2 people. You can literally bring the whole family, the kids, the wife, the grandparents. What you would want to do is when you do call Royal Caribbean, just add them on and it'll be super easy.
And that's why we separated it out. So it's like we've got the attendees, that's our mastermind situation, and then you call and book whatever you want with them. But that's where the pricing starts. If you're sharing a room with somebody, they start at $549 per person. So it's pretty affordable, and that includes all your meals and everything.
Yeah. And if you have a friend that you just want to bring with you that doesn't actually want to attend the mastermind, then don't worry. Just sign up for the mastermind for yourself. And then when you call Royal Caribbean, you can get the room for both of you guys. So something else to keep in mind.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I mean, I've got some time to hang out for questions. You guys do too, yeah?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Let's scroll up on these babies.
Let's see. Is it geared towards beginners, or if we are at the? Can you highlight those comments, Jonathan? Is that you that has that?
Yeah. Let me see.
Samantha's got one up here.
Who was it? Who asked that?
Samantha Pucci. It says, is it geared towards beginners, or if we are at the 10 to 15K a month mark, would there be great resources for us too? Yeah, Samantha, it would be fantastic for you, because if you're already at the 10 to 15K a month mark, that means you already have things in place that can easily be tweaked. Like a lot of the things that we were walking through at the beginning of this were like some of the examples that we gave, like Becca's, for example. She was only at 4,000 a month and then went to $250,000 in a month, not long after that, by doing one little tweak to things. But yeah, if you've already got something that's working, figuring out how to make something work to begin with is more difficult than figuring out how to make something that's work a whole lot better. So yeah, I mean, this is great for beginners, but if you're at that 10 to 15K a month mark, that's phenomenal, because usually it doesn't take that much to really push that along, put some rocket fuel on there.
Yeah, Samantha, this would be perfect for you. I know Samantha. I know that this would be perfect for you for sure.
Nice.
Somebody else, Sam Malesko. Sean, are you a nerd? LOL.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, he is.
I am, and proud of it.
Let's see.
Hey, Sean, if you could just move it to the slide where they can go to the link.
Of course.
So people can.
Someone said, I'm from Canada. Can I still do this? Yes, Hannah, we have somebody from Australia coming. She's on the call right now. We have people from all over coming. Absolutely. So cruise takes out of Tampa. So as long as you have your passport, you are totally welcome to come.
And I think if you don't have a passport, I think if you have a birth certificate and one other thing, that it works as well. That'd be a Royal Caribbean question to be 100% on that. But yeah, it is possible without a passport also.
But yeah, we have people from multiple different countries, so definitely don't worry about that. Sam said, who is the ideal participant for this mastermind, and what stage should their business be in to gain the most value? Any stage where you're not already hitting that 6-figure a month mark, right? I mean, this is not only going to help you make consistent sales and scale your business, but like this is going to scale your business regardless of where you're at, regardless of if you're a beginner, regardless of if maybe you make a few $1,000s a month, or like Samantha, who makes $15,000 to $20,000 a month, right? I mean, Sean teaches this same framework to his multi-million-dollar clients. It's so simple that we can do it regardless of what niche you're in, regardless of where you're at in your journey. And we'll all each take a look at your business and how it's going so far. So you're not going to have to worry about getting lost in a sea of knowledge that's geared towards other people, things like that.
Is it worth it if you want to do master resale rights? Absolutely. Having somebody else's proven product already to sell, especially if it's something that's proven, then you've got a really good start on the convert portion of things, but you still really need the other three. And so it just kind of shortcuts you to not have to create and to prove, validate, and create something yourself to begin with. It doesn't matter if you're selling your own product, somebody else's. I mean, Jonathan's first Jonathan's first really super successful business was high ticket affiliate marketing, all selling other people's products. And that business model is literally just these 4 steps and the specifics of what you do within those. But it's very he stripped everything else away. So he just has the perfect thing for each one of those. But the whole thing was selling other people's products, not his, now he creates his own, but that's not how it started to begin with. But MRR would be the same type of thing.
And then somebody asked as well about MLM. Yes, any online marketing business you have, or any online business in general, this is going to help. So MLM, MRR, affiliate marketing, you have your own offer, coaches, course creators, anything like that. And then Samantha, I know you do well with coaching. And then I know your husband or your fiance, he has a real estate business that he's trying to grow online. So honestly, it would be beneficial for both of you for sure. How do you envision this experience transforming attendees' business trajectories in 2025?
What I find really cool about this is just, I mentioned this a little bit earlier on, but I so many times have just been distracted by all the shiny objects, the latest trends, this and that. And it's oh, I should start a podcast. I should use this strategy, this framework. Oh, this book talks about doing, whatever. I should write a book or whatever. There's 10 billion things that you could do. But when you realize where each thing fits in, and there's only 4 areas to focus on for things to matter, you can then look at all those million things that are exciting that you're not quite sure what you should or shouldn't do and say, okay, well, what specifically would this, which category does this fit in? And then is that the dial that I would turn in my business to get the biggest result with the least amount of time, the least amount of effort? And as long as you continually keep thinking about that approach, you're just going to get so much done so much faster. And what has taken me 15 plus years to figure out, Jonathan and Becca have done bigger, better things in a much shorter time just because of having access to the coaches, the resources, and everything that didn't exist when I started that really fast tracked them and everything. And I know the first conference thing that I went to, I knew hardly anything, and I was really super afraid, oh my gosh, if I show up, people are going to know that I don't belong, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm a fake or whatever. And so I had this idea of okay, I'm just going to get my room, get to the hotel, get to my room. And then when a class happens, I'm just going to go straight there, learn everything I can, and then hurry up and go straight back. And hopefully nobody will talk to me and figure out that I don't belong and they'll kick me out or something or other like that. And people are amazing, warm, welcoming. We plan to create that environment and facilitate all of that. And are we changing a page there?
We had to change the link. The link was going directly to the homepage.
Oh, was it really? Oh,
yeah. I checked the redirect and I see it's correct, but I don't know why it's going to the homepage.
That's weird.
So we just pasted the new link in the chat, so you guys don't have to type all of that in.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Just having said that, the things that I learned by going in person and connecting with people who have been there and done it, I mean, that cut so much time off of things for me. Like I remember the first bigger one that I invested in right after the one where I was just going to the rooms, going back and everything. The literally the next thing that I did, I ended up spending 2 days with some people that were really successful, and they showed me things kind of like what we're going to be showing you. And the results for me personally of that was within about 2 or 3 months of spending a couple days with them, we had, I think, tripled our monthly income on that. It's been a long time, so I don't have the exact number, but I'm positive it was at least doubling in that time, possibly tripling or more. And it was specifically because they were able to look at our business specifically and say, oh, you could do this instead of that. And it was just mind blowing because like, if you don't have the experience for it, you're not really sure. And so having that extra set of eyes from somebody who's done it before, and especially who has done it several times, like you can have that confidence to then put that time in and then those results come out. So,
Yeah. And I told that story in the beginning, if you guys remember, but I had just gone to my first event and I had like, I had this like perception of rich people, like, oh, they're probably not going to talk to me or whatever. But once I met Sean, and not just Sean, but a lot of other people that were amazing, by the way, I was just like, oh, okay, I could do this. Right. And, this was me working a 9 to 5. I had honestly no confidence. Like I was scared to get on camera. And just because I had met people that had done it, just that little thing right there was such a big impact on my life and now my business. So it's kind of a cool thing,
Well, and like with you and me, Jonathan, like we didn't meet in person until we went to a mastermind, and I would have never met Sean if it weren't for that. And now you guys are like a huge part of my life and my business. And then, I think back to the Mexico trip and about how like just becoming like, I say this all the time, but like I become better friends with people that I meet through masterminds, that I meet through this space than ever before. And so I have my inner circle group, and thankfully my inner circle group, they get a free ticket to the mastermind. But what is so cool is a lot of them, they were nervous as well. We meet on Zoom every week, 3 times a week, and they were nervous. And now they're all best friends and they never met each other in person. So just having like this intimate group of people that are into the same stuff as you, like you are going to click instantly. Someone just asked a really good question. She said, I'm very new. I have not pulled the trigger on any platform. It's quite overwhelming to know where to put my money into education. What separates you from the rest? Your offer from the rest?
Becca, I think including your bonus in here, like that is a huge thing that separates it, because not only do you have the proximity of us to help you personally, like to kind of look at what you're doing and point you in the right direction, but like the fact that it comes with Becca's flagship course, like tell us a little bit about how somebody who's beginning would benefit from just that one bonus that you've included in there.
Yeah, well, so I want to talk about the bonus, but then also about how this is going to be so great for the mastermind. So basically my course is everything that they don't teach you in other courses. Truly. Those of you who have taken it, you know. So basically, I mean, we go into like how to actually convert, how to actually create a business plan that actually converts and makes sales. Not just like, ooh, here's a trending reel today. Here's some audios. Here's like some clips you can do. No, here's how to talk to your target audience to where you actually convert. Here's how to build funnels that actually look good and convert and aren't just some basic freebie funnel. Here's how to craft content that talks to your target audience every single time, that you never, ever run out of ideas, because you will have hundreds and hundreds of ideas to choose from that still talks to your target audience every single time. So this is stuff that all the courses miss. So that in and of itself, like, yes, my course is the shit. But on top of that, with the mastermind, like you're learning from me, Jonathan, and Sean, which is wild that we like are all able to do this. And I think a lot of times as well, like we are talking to, this digital marketing space. And so I do also feel like when you are going to a higher level event like this, it's more like all these people in all these different spaces, like Sean with his Amazon, Jonathan with affiliate marketing, someone else with I'm trying to think of what
AI,
the feminine, Shamina's feminine stuff, right? This is all geared towards digital marketers. You're going to have access to 3 multi-millionaire, $29 million in combined revenue entrepreneurs who know what the heck they're doing. They've broken it down into 4 simple steps. You're going to have access to them. We're going to look at your business, and you're going to leave with your custom 90-day plan, as well as knowing exactly what you need to know in what order. And then when you leave, you're going to learn how to know what you need to do next week in what order, what to do in the next week in what order. And then Olivia, just to let you know that my course is the shit. Olivia said, from a consumer of Becca's products, transparency and actionable information. Okay. And you. So that's kind of how I feel like our mastermind is so different. And I think a lot of times as well with masterminds is they're like in stuffy hotel rooms. Not that this has to do with the value or the information that's going to be given, but a lot of times they're in these stuffy hotel rooms, right? And it's like you don't really get a chance to meet each other. Here, we're going to be on a boat. You guys can have drinks. You guys can party with each other. We're going to be on the pool deck creating content together. We're going to have lecture time, of course, but it's going to be from the 3 of us. We're not bringing a bunch of random people in to teach you all these different random stuff that you don't need to know. It's all going to be stuff that you actually need to know. And to have that in-person experience makes it 100 times more digestible and amazing and fun. And you're able to meet these friends. You're able to learn more. We just have a lot of fun things that we're doing.
Yeah. And then on top of that, it's just like the tools that we're going to give them is just like, yeah, we're going to teach them how to do it, but it's like, we're going to show them like, okay, there's this brand new thing that no one's ever created that you can now do this in like a couple minutes rather than spending months like doing it manually and doing it yourself. So I think that's one of the biggest differences that literally no one has created is like the tools, right? That we're going to teach you how to do it, but then it's gonna be like, oh, by the way, here's this new software that can do it for you. And that's I think one of the highest value things I've seen.
Somebody said anything with faceless content. So with content, we're not going over the actual strategies of like, here's a face forward video. Here is a faceless video. We're not going over that. It's more like the principles of how to make money. So regardless of how you choose to promote it, how you choose to present yourself on social media, the principles are all the same. So it's going to help you regardless of if you're faceless, if you are face forward, if you dress up like a clown or whatever you want to wear in your videos, it is going to help you. Somebody said, do you have any plans to come to Canada, preferably the East Coast? No, not right now. Not right now. No. But East Coast, my dad lives in Toronto, so I do plan on going up there at some point in the next, 5-10 years.
Gabrielle says she's trying to learn Funnel Freedom and that it is amazing. If you haven't got in on the Freedom University that we just launched a few days ago, as a user, you get access to that for free. So I assume that you're talking about checking that out, but just in case you weren't, definitely do check that out because it's got dozens and dozens of modules in it that walk you through exactly how to do every single little piece inside. And something that's coming, there's a couple other questions I see here of, I don't think I'll struggle with getting in front of an audience and telling a story. I think I'll struggle with turning my story into a profitable niche. And Jen agrees. That's where I'm stuck, not knowing how to put it all together. Jonathan, what he was talking about with the Freedom AI that we're building, like we're going to have tools in there that actually help with that, where you can put in who your target audience is, and it will spit out like amazing ideas for offers, like what to create, how to make it compelling, how to make it things that people want, that are all built on the psychology of how people how people want things, but also like in ways where if you have multiple things included in an offer, that it's like, okay, this solves this main problem, but that creates this new problem. Well, guess what? Here's a bonus you can add that solves that next problem. Like it automatically thinks through all of that because I'm putting all the marketing knowledge that I've accumulated over the past 20 years into this AI so that it knows how I think and the things that we've learned. And I mean, all three of us have put multiple six figures into coaching, education, and everything. And like all three of us are using all those materials. Like I'm tapping into all of the resources that we have to build AI that's trained on all that to help you with exactly those types of things. And of course, we can help you with that while we're in person for a week as well. But we're building tools that will keep helping you with that afterwards. And like, it's pretty mind blowing how well it works. Some of the things that it has spit out that I have, after I trained it, I looked at some of the results and I was just thinking, some of this is literally just as good as what I would come up with all these years of experience, but it did it in like 5 minutes and it would have taken me like hours or maybe even sleeping on it overnight or something. And it's just like, whoa, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, we've got solutions for that for sure.
Carlton said, I think the intimate nature of this mastermind and having access to the successful teachers / business owners is what will make this so much more impactful than just sitting in a hotel conference room with 1,000 other people. Totally, Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
In a hotel room, it's like check in, check out, bye, see you tomorrow. Now it's like, sure, you can go do your own thing, 100%. Encourage you to be happy and do your own thing. But if you don't want to and you want to hang out, like we're there the whole time. I saw something else that was a good question. And now I can't see it, but you guys go ahead.
Carlton, it's not live yet. We'll have the first modules live by the end of this month, and then we'll have a lot more by the time the mastermind happens. But that it's not live in there yet. It's only live for me and a few select testers at the moment, which maybe you'll be one of those soon. We'll see.
It's got the in. Amanda says, I think a lot of people, newbies looking to monetize, struggle taking their idea and making executable and profitable. Got you, girl. We got you. Sam says, will there be a community built after that? Attendees can stay connected on growth, leveraging success stories and more. Yes, we're going to create a Facebook community. We're going to create one beforehand so you guys can all get to know each other, start like a little mini community beforehand. And then of course, once the cruise comes, y'all will really get to know each other. And then we're going to keep that Facebook alive where we can talk about our success stories, things that we learned, and we'll still be active in there. Somebody said, are you hosting another mastermind this year if I can't make this one? I don't know. Try to make this one if you can, because we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. It's January. We'll see where the year takes us. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to enter the link again because that way so you guys don't have to type in this crazy long link. I'm just continuing to type it in the chat. Does anyone else have any questions regarding this? I'm trying to scroll through and see. I am just making sure I don't want to miss anything. Here we go. Oh, somebody did ask about my Money Magnet Millionaire course or the Creation to Conversion Academy. It is the same Money Magnet Millionaire course. We're just rebranding. And if you already have it, then great, because the mastermind's the main event here. And if you don't already have it, then be cheaper here. Let's see.
And then I don't know if you could see your Instagram, Becca, you may have some questions on
Oh,
there. I'm
yeah.
not sure.
How many slots are available? We're not sure at this point because we did cap it out at 50 people. We've sold quite a bit. You guys get on there ASAP. ASAP. It's a $500 deposit, $750 deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
750, yeah.
Yeah, get on there ASAP. There's payment plan options if you guys don't have the money in full. So just get on there. Let me hop over to my Instagram, see if there's any questions over here. It looks like it's frozen on the gram. Can't wait for the previews. Thank you guys. Hi. I think we're good over here.
Yeah.
I think something I did actually ask. Well, no. Let's see. No, we're good on there. Everything that they asked on Instagram was pretty much the same as what everyone's asking about in here. Somebody said, yeah, okay. All right. How is everybody feeling? Let me enter this link in the chat one more time. How much was the breakdown again, please? Sean, do you want to go back to that slide?
Mm-hmm. Yep, got it right there.
Okay, so mastermind price, $1,500 for one person in one private room, $2,000 for two people in one shared room. So it's actually going to be a much better deal. Like if you want to bring a spouse or another friend that's in the digital marketing space, and then you still do have to book your Royal Caribbean cruises. So right now it's $549 per person. And they change every day. But this was as of last night. We updated everything and they seem to have stayed consistent the last few days. So rooms start at $549. This is for their two people in one shared room. And then we have $1,378 per person. This is one person in a private room. So truly you're gonna save more money if you just bring a friend or anything like that. I am so excited to see you. Let me enter this in again. Hannah says, I'm looking forward for this. I'm just hoping I can go because I really need this. Y'all are amazing. Definitely what I would say is go ahead and put your deposit in. You still have a month before you have to worry about the second payment. Sometimes you can get cruise deals cheaper if you wait until last minute. I personally would be too afraid to do that, but my mom is that kind of person. So if you're brave enough, you can do that. But yeah, just go ahead, put your deposit in and then email us if you have any questions. You can always email. Let me attach my email down below. You can ask any questions there as well. And then do you want me to put y'all's emails too, just in case?
Yeah, it works for me.
Should we just put the Funnel Freedom support, or what do you want to do? Which one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What's better for you guys?
Yeah.
Little fast typer over there. Perfect. Any more questions before we hop off?
Someone on my IG just said, "Can we bring kids?" Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you obviously will have the training, and then if you're bringing a spouse or whatever, they can take care of the kids while they're in the room. They can't obviously go in the room, but they could be around, and you guys can hang out, of course. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bring the whole family on a vacation. I actually really wanted my mom and my daughter to go, and I let them know I'm going to be working. Like I'm not going to be able to hang out, but you guys are welcome to come as a vacation.
Yeah.
Peacefully, she was like not into cruises, but I'm like, meh. So that's not going to work out. But even we wanted to bring our families, so bring your family, make it turn into a whole family vacation while you're learning,
I was hoping to bring my my family, because they don't let newborns on the cruises yet. So we can't bring the little guy until he's 6 months, but maybe next time.
Oh, I'm excited to meet him and to see Alicia.
I'm
really excited to see
you guys tomorrow, huh? That's crazy.
Yep.
It is crazy. Yeah, we're all going to be together. We're going to create lots of content.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And then truly, y'all, my favorite thing about this whole thing, well, you guys know conversion content is my thing. You have We have lots of stuff coming from Sean, lots of stuff coming from Jonathan. But for me, I'm so excited to not only teach this content strategies, but like record content with you guys. Like I want enough content that like we can all be posting like every day of the year and like be good. And we have like our aesthetic cruise backgrounds, like it's a tax write-off. I mean, take advantage. All right.
And that's it.
Yeah. Y'all ready?
All good. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
thank you for being here. Karen, thank you too.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
We're going to send out a link through email or text. I guess through email.
Yeah, honestly, we'll probably send through both just because I
Yeah.
know some people don't check emails. That's not true. I do, but.
All right. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
All right.
You guys, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.